Today, we're back at London Victoria, which seems to be becoming a theme for this channel. While normally the domain of Southern, the Gatwick Express and South Eastern, for a few days this December, a rather special train was there. The Railway 200 exhibition train, otherwise known as Inspiration, was parked in Platform 1 for all to see. Now, just to make it clear, as a 20-something who drinks too much on a Thursday night, I'm not really the target audience for this train, so we're mainly going to cover the formation's rather interesting history. However, if you have children or you're in your teens and interested in a railway career, then it's definitely worth a visit. Let's quickly explain what the Inspiration exhibition train is. It was designed as a flagship of the Railway 200 festival, which celebrates 2 centuries since the Stockton and Darlington Railway first opened back in 1825. Inspiration has been touring up and down the UK since the summer, and it's recently announced that the tour will continue into 2026. Now onto the train itself. Basically, it's 5 Mark III coaches top and tailed by a Class 66 locomotive. But we know you're watching this for the details, so don't worry, we've got you. Starting with the traction, the operational backbone of this tour is provided by 2 allocated Class 66 locomotives, numbers 66710 and 66719. From a distance, in their bright red colour scheme, they might look like DB cargo locomotives, but they're actually owned and operated by GBRF, who are supplying the logistical support for the whole tour. Now, the Class 66 really are the Ford Transits of the rails. Reliable, looks like a shed, and built by General Motors in London. Really? Oh, London, Ontario. That makes more sense. As part of this new Railway 200 red livery, the logos of the old Big Four railway companies have been applied just below each of the cab-side windows. The names on the locos are significant too. 66710 is named after Karen Harrison, the first woman to become a train driver in Britain during the 1970s. The other loco, 66719, is Michael Portillo, a former politician now better known for walking around the network with a Bradshaw's Guide and a selection of violently colourful blazers. Both these locos were revealed at the Greatest Gathering in Derby back in August 2025. But there is a slight problem. Class 66s don't have electric train supply or ETS, meaning they can't provide the power to run the air conditioning, the screens, or even the lights in the exhibition coaches. So, enter vehicle 96371. This is a generator van, and it's a survivor of the infamous Night Star project. In the 1990s, British Rail planned to run sleeper trains from places like Plymouth and Swansea to Paris via the Channel Tunnel. However, as these lines aren't electrified even today, they would need generator vans to power these hotels on wheels. The solution? In 1995, British Rail converted redundant Mark IIIA sleepers, stripping out the beds and replacing them with massive diesel generators. Sadly, the project was cancelled in 1999, partly due to the rise of cheap airlines and the passenger stock later being sold to Via Rail in Canada. However, the generator van stayed in the UK, with this example 96371 being owned by Eastern Rail Services since 2019. Since being with ERS, the van has found revenue work at Inverness Depot as a carriage heater for the Caledonian Sleeper. The generator has also been converted to run on hydro-treated vegetable oil, so that's good, I guess. But before we look at the other coaches, we need to pay for my Thursday drinks. This video is supported by the RailwayMayhem shop. We've launched a new range of merchandise. If you want a t-shirt with some classic British Rail inspired designs or a mug with the incredible Railway Mayhem logo on, we have you covered. Go to railwaymayhem.com/shop and see what we have on offer. Back to the video. So the actual exhibition part of the train consists of 4 Mark III coaches. 3 of the coaches are Mark IIIB, first opened, built in 1984, with the final carriage being a Mark IIIA, trailer second open, built in 1975. During 2006, this TSO was converted into TSOB, or for the likes of you and me, a trailer standard open buffet. Fancy. In recent history, all 4 of the carriages worked for Greater Anglia, hauled by Class 90s along the Great Eastern Main Line. By 2022, after a few years in storage, the 4 coaches were in the ownership of a short-lived owner called Third Life Rail, with the Real Charter Train Co. branded applied to the coaches. Ever heard of Third Life Rail? Nor had I. They closed their doors in early 2024, with the coaches finally making their way to the current owner, Eastern Rail Services. Starting in the summer of 2024, the passenger coaches were sent to Lawrence Workshop in Derby for a Railway 200 makeover. Each of the carriages was stripped of its interior, minus its toilets, and given a battleship grey paint job, with vinyl wraps applied to the exterior of the carriages, while also receiving a C4 overhaul during this time. Right, let's finally show you the inside of these coaches. First, we have the past, in vehicle 11092. This carriage covers the history of the British railway network since 1825, from the likes of the Stockton and Darlington Railway to the introduction of real-time passenger information systems, and even the first high-vis jacket from 1964, which was trialled by plate layers in and around Glasgow. And then moving to the present, here in 11093. This is the Wonder Lab. Created with the National Railway Museum, they've ripped out the first-class seats to install science experiments, such as a bridge builder challenge and their soundscape using an overhead projector, which demonstrates how trains navigate through the changing landscape. Vehicle 11101 is the future. It covers the basics of digital signalling and is basically a mobile recruitment office, with displays on all the different careers available within the railway world. Plus, they have this incredible TBM model. Then finally, coach number 10406, the TSOB. This is a partner zone. This space serves as a flexible event space for sponsors and local charities to promote their work. With it also nearly being Christmas, we were treated to a Railway 200 themed Christmas tree, which is a nice touch. So there you have it, the inspiration train. As you can tell from the outside and inside, a lot of work has gone into the design and fit out of these coaches, so fair play and well done to all those involved. Once the train is finally retired, the future for these carriages are unknown, but I'm sure with this new lease of life, they'll be far away from any scrapyard. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget the like button, and while you're there, also press the subscribe button too to see more content like this. Thanks for watching.